Welcome one and all, Nyanko here, and today I'm going to be talking about yet another anime manga combo. Because you don't have, a lot of the time you don't get an anime if you don't have a manga to base it off. Now there are exceptions to this rule, but 9 times out of 10 an anime is really just a promotional tool for the manga. And today I am going to be talking about the wonderful anime and manga that is Fruits Basket! Woo! She finally made a video about it, just mentioned it enough. So, Fruits Basket. If you don't know what it is, then I'm sadly disappointed in you. No, I'm joking, sorry. Basically, Fruits Basket is your main heroine, Tora Honda, has kind of fallen down on her luck. She's lost her mum. Her granddad is renovating his house, and she's basically had to move out into a tent. And she doesn't realise that she's camping out the back of her her classmate Yuki Soma's house. But actually, it's his cousin Shigure Soma's house, but he's living there as well. And she then ends up staying in the actual house because there's a landslide, and her tent gets, demolished. And so she ends up moving in and living with them, and then finding out through the fact that Kyosoma jumps through the roof and falls on her that the family is cursed, and that whenever they're touched or hugged really by a member of the opposite sex that isn't also cursed, then they'll turn into animals of the zodiac. Plus the cat, because of an old tale that's told about the cat in Japan or in China. One of the two. So you've got Yuki Soma, who is the rat. You've got Hatsuharu Soma, who is the cow. You've got Kisa Soma, who is the tiger. I'm trying to remember my zodiac years. You've got Hattori, who's the dragon. You've got Momiji, who's the rabbit. You've got Ayame, who's the snake. You've got Rin, who's the horse. You've got Ritsu, who's the monkey. Shigure is the dog. You've got Hira, who's the sheep. You've got Kurina, who's the rooster. And you've got Kagura, who's the boar. I think I've got everybody there. If not, they'll pop up in editing. I think that's right. So you've got Yuki. And then you've got Kyo, obviously, who's the cat. And then you have Akito, who is the god of the zodiac from the tale where they all, go to God and have a party with God. This one I'm talking about is the 2019 remake, which is more faithful to the manga, but it still leaves out some points that I'm a bit miffed about. But other than that, I think it's an absolutely amazing retelling. It doesn't leave out any of the Yuki storyline and with Toru, and you've got wait, I completely lost my train of thought there. So you've got the 2001 show, which I actually originally watched, that made me then go and read the manga, which is good for what it was, but it does leave out aspects of it that led into later seasons. So it was almost like they weren't going to get another season, but at that point the manga wasn't finished either, so I can see why they did it. Reboot that got announced in 2019, the animation style got upgraded, so it looks a lot more like the manga. You've got they recast it in the Japanese because the author was so annoyed by the original that she was like, I want none of who was associated with the original one to come into this one. Although she did say they could keep the English cast, which I was like, yay, they got to keep the English cast. So basically Toru starts living with the Somas, and she's, to pay for her room and board, she cleans up the house, she cooks for them, and she basically becomes a caretaker / a mother figure to some of the Somas. And she also, as she goes along, loves to find out about the new Zodiac members, find out who they are, which animal they are, and become friends with them. Even Akito, she's desperate to become friends with Akito as well, even though Akito is horrible in the beginning. But the thing about Fruits Basket is that it handles themes of domestic and familial abuse really, really well. So most of the Somas, I think, bar Hero and bar Kisa, are abused at home. And, well, Hatsuharu as well doesn't seem to be abused either. We don't know much about Shigure's parents, Ayame's parents, or Hattori's parents, although you do kind of see them in passing, but they seem to get on relatively well with them. Ayame's mother is also Yuki's mum, and she is horrible to them as children. But Ayame is just like, I am who I am, shoe mother, kind of thing. And then Yuki kind of gets crushed by it. The way his mum treats him is very, you were only born to further my ambition and my goal within the family, basically. She's not very good, and she's like, I have decided everything for you, you don't get any say in this, blah blah blah. So yeah, she's a bit more of a helicopter parent, but she is very emotionally abusive in the sense that she neglects Yuki emotionally. She sells him off to Akito and just forgets about him, and when he asks for help, does nothing. Same with Ayame. Yuki reaches out for him and is like, help me, you're my brother, and he kind of poo-poos him and shoos him away. And that's something that plays through in the storyline, is that Ayame is full of regret over how he used to treat Yuki, and now he's trying to make up for lost time and rebuild a bond with him. And I really like that. But Ayame is quite a flamboyant, very out there, hard to deal with character, and Yuki is very reserved and very held back because of everything he went through, and he struggles with that. But they do eventually come to an understanding, and it's really sweet. You have Kyo's family dynamic, which was messed up to say the least. His mum was constantly terrified that he was going to turn into the monstrous side of the cat spirit, and was always checking to make sure his beads were on, and wouldn't let him watch TV, wouldn't really let him go outside, said she wanted to keep him safe and to love him, but in a sense was being abusive, not in a I'm actively going to be an abuser to you, but in her own way while she was trying to protect him. It wasn't great. Now, I wouldn't say it was abusive, to be fair. She never hit him, but she was always like worrying about him and smothering him a little bit with her love. So while I wouldn't say the mum is abusive, I would say the situation he was in wasn't great for his development. Now, his dad full on does go abusive, and abused him all the time, like verbally, and then abused the mum verbally, which drove her to suicide, which Kyo witnesses as well. And then after that, the dad basically is like, it's your fault she's dead, you killed her, blah blah blah, you're a murderer. So Kazuya Soma, kind of the grandson of the previous cat spirit, takes in Kyo and raises him with a lot more love and affection, and their storyline plays out, and it's really sweet because Kazuya Soma is his dad. Like, he sees his master as his father figure, he loves him dearly, and I like watching their story play out. That is actually something that's very good about Fruits Basket, is it shows that family doesn't necessarily mean blood. So with Kazuya, I think it's Kazuya, yeah, and Kyo, he takes him in, loves him like his son, and then Kyo loves him like a father. And when he gets older and has children himself, they refer to Kazuya as their granddad and not the other guy, because they don't like the other grandfather, because they meet him I think once or something like that. But that's for another video. You've got, now Hatsuharu isn't abused that we know of, but Rin certainly is. She was abused by her family to the point that she ended up in the hospital several times for like malnutrition and just dehydration and exhaustion. And then when they're like, you have to like talk up about it, her parents throw her away and they're like, we don't want you anymore. And that breaks Rin in a sense. And she ends up kind of desperately looking for a mother figure, which is why in the beginning she's so hostile to Toru, because she knows in her heart of hearts that Toru is the kind of mother figure she always wanted, and that storyline plays out really well. And then poor Hatsuharu is just absolutely, he's so loyal and he's so sweet and I love him. But he kind of saw the abuse that Rin was going through and then was like, I'm going to be there for you, kind of thing. And he becomes her person, and it's so cool. Hira isn't abused. He's just an ass in the beginning. He's horrible. I don't like him very much. But then he grows on me later on. He is very much in love with Kisa, who is the tiger. Now, she's not abused at home either. She's just overly loved by her mum, is very overly protective of her. But she gets bullied in school and she gets attacked by Akito and she doesn't understand why. But you later learn that that's due to Hiro. And I don't want to spoil that in case you go and watch it. So yeah, I'm not going to go into all of it because you need to watch it yourself. But yeah, so there's a load of different like family dynamics throughout it all. And you've got like Toru, who's been guided by her relationship she had with her mum. And the loss of her coming to terms with her mum's death and moving on from it. And realising that she can't stay stuck in the past forever. Which is really cool. And like I said, the manga was heartbreaking for me. The only thing actually that they leave out of the manga in the new adaptation is Toru's parents' love story and the full story behind how Kyoko dies. But that's in the movie Fruits Basket Prelude, which is really well done actually. I did like that. The only thing that I don't like about it is that they leave out the connection between the student council vice president this guy anyway, and Toru, because he hates Toru and you don't really come to find out why he seems to hate her so much in the anime, but in the manga you do, and you actually learn like the full extent and circumstances. But I'm not going to go into it full detail because I don't want to spoil if you do want to go read it. And if you have already read the manga, then you already know what I'm talking about. So tidbits. I have to like sprinkle some like juicy bits so that you'll go and read the things. But yeah, I absolutely adore Fruits Basket. Toru is such a relatable character, and I like how she's constantly trying to put on a brave face. She's always super cheerful and she's always very, present and in the moment, but she's got things in the background that, a lot of the characters don't always understand. She feels lonely because she's lost her mum. She feels lost in a sense because she doesn't know what to do anymore. She had a plan when she was living with her mum, and she's still trying to rigidly stick to that plan, even though she could change it, because she feels like she's betraying her mum if she doesn't. Toru is very relatable in that sense, Everyone calls her plain, everyone kind of calls her stupid, and why is everyone Akito really hates her because she's just a plain stupid woman. Why do you have so much sway over everybody? And the whole point of it is that she's kind. She's a generous, kind human being that just envelops the broken Soma family in love. And that love starts to heal them, helps them close up the old wounds, helps them with the curse, helps them move forward. It stops them from stagnating. And you see that the most with Momiji, actually. Oh, poor Momiji. He is just a sweetheart. Bunny supremacy. I love Momiji. He's one of my favourite characters. He's always very, happy and go-lucky and just devil may care. But you realise there's more going on with Momiji in the background. And I would ship Momiji with Toru if it wasn't for Kyo. I'm a full Kyoru shipper. But at the same time, I can see why people ship Toru with Momiji. Even though he looks like super, super kiddie and cutesy, he is only a year younger than Toru. And when he has his growth spurt, he's still the same Momiji, but he's just taller and more handsome. He goes from being cute and, boyish to being, handsome and manly. And I could have shipped them together if I wasn't such a die-hard Kyo and Toru shipper. So you have your ships in Fruits Basket. Pick one side with it and you'll, go through there. But no, it's really well written. The anime is a really good adaptation of it. The storylines in it will make you laugh, they'll make you cry, they'll make you fall in love with the characters. And it's just, it's so good. I absolutely adore it. I can't recommend it enough. It is, I'd say, my ultimate favourite rom-com / drama. Because it is like a romance and there is comedy in it, but it is drama really, because of everything that goes on. But no, I would recommend it. It's really good. I love the fact that, you know, Toru is such a healing influence, and that she's also got her own issues, and that not just that she helps the Somas recover and move on, but that the Somas help her as well. And it's a really nice give and take storyline, and I love it so much. It's such a good show, so I highly recommend that you go and watch it. It's available on DVD. Now, it was on Funimation because they dub it, but I don't know if that's been moved over to Crunchyroll or not. I believe actually it might have been. I'll let you know in editing if it's on Crunchyroll or not. Because yeah, watch it if you can. It's 63 episodes long, and it adapts the full story, bar the bit that they took out that then became the movie. So you get the full storyline if you watch seasons 1, 2 and 3 and the movie. There's only like a small bit, like I said, that gets left out, but if you read the manga, you'll get that as well. Highly recommend you just watch and read both, like consume both of the medias, both of the storytelling outlets. But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on and on about Fruits Basket and just the complexities of the relationships and the storytelling and the artwork. And I mean, look at this Kyoto artwork that they did for the anime. Like, isn't it absolutely stunning? The colours and like the drawings and all, and I love it so much. If you want to fully understand why I love it so much, go watch it. If you've already watched it and you love it as much as me, comment down below. Tell me who your favourite character is, who's your favourite ship. And I will probably leave it there for this one, my kittens. I mean, do I leave it there or do I keep going? No. Be strong, Nyanko. Leave it there. Yeah, so I'm going to remind you all to remember to eat something, drink something, and don't forget any medications if you're on it. And I will see you in the next videos, my lovelies. All of my love. Bye!